Greetings my friends and welcome to a new Empire Total War Nations Guide video. Today we're going to be looking at the Cherokee. The Cherokee, the native Indians who are of course well established here in America, North America in particular. We're going to be looking today particularly at sort of the regions you control, the production, the economics of the Cherokee, obviously the units you can get, the armies you can build. They're excellent fighters, my friends. Your neighbours, your enemies, your allies, whom to look out for, whom you might be able to easiest target for you to take. Remember, you've got to act quickly here as the Cherokee, because you're not able to sort of access the how can I say, the technology and also the sort of the firepower of the Western sort of nations, particularly Spain, Britain, France. But that doesn't mean you can't do an excellent job and really push yourselves here, because when you're in a fight with the Cherokee, my friends, especially if you're on the other end of the fight of the Cherokee, they are absolutely savage, brutal warriors. They really are. Their courage is almost unparalleled in the entire campaign. You will not find another nation with the morale and the courage of the Cherokees, especially when they get hand to hand with you. When they get hand to hand with you, they're pretty much unstoppable. Believe me, I've been at the end of some really brutal battles with the Cherokees where I've had pretty much thought to myself, I'm going to overpower the Cherokees here, because I've gone in with about 3 or 4 armies and they've got about 2.5 armies, and I've been absolutely slaughtered. That was before I sort of worked out a strategy how to defeat them, but my word, if they get in close to you, you are absolutely going to be in for the fight of your life. But let's first of all look at the territories you get as the Cherokee. So the first and most obvious here is Savannah in Georgia. You're right down here in the deep south here, next to Florida, next to Spain. You've also got here the 13 colonies as well, on your sort of right flank, as it were, here in the north, upward north of you here. But let's have a closer look at Savannah. Let's have a quick look what you actually get here. Savannah is just a hunting ground, so you're sort of just two expansions into being able to get what you need here in terms of being able to really upgrade quite nicely. But as you can see, look how many you can go all the way up here to about 6. You can go up 6 upgrades here to get some really nice buildings, some nice units as well, some really tough units here as well. As you can see, a tribal drill ground you can go up to, but basically we're looking at a standard sort of lodge, as it were, here for the Cherokee. As you can see, you can always get Native Americans, you can get Chief Bodyguard, Native American Tribesmen. Can't get Bowmen yet, because that requires Spirit Medicine, but you can get Garrison Native Bowmen. The Bowmen really are excellent, but we'll go in a bit more detail later on with the units you can get for the Cherokee. And of course you stand out here with, I believe that is going to be either a cotton or a tobacco plantation you can have here. So already this is going to provide you with some economic advantage here, but not a great deal. You can't have the port yet, although I do believe you can actually get ships as the Cherokee or the Iroquois, I believe, but they're also the Middle Eastern sort of equivalent, the Persian or Ottoman equivalent of the sloop. They're the very basic ship, but that doesn't mean you can't use them. You can use them to invade, which would be an excellent thing to do, but we'll look at a closer look at that later on as well. So that's Georgia. Not a huge amount to offer here from Georgia. It does stretch all the way down into 2 of the main territories here, which is of course Chickasaw, which is Cherokee, sort of the homeland, and Kentucky, Tellico, again, which is, you know, almost within stone throw distance here of sort of the homeland here, the Cherokee. And now we come to the actual Cherokee Nation sort of territory itself. This is the home. This is the home ground here, the spiritual home here of the Cherokee. And you start off with not again a hunting ground, the same you do here in Tellico. And of course you can go straight to tribal drill grounds, but again you get the same units. But if you go to look at this, what opens up here. If you just go from one more sort of upgrade here, look what opens up for you: musketmen, medicine men, which are brutal hand-to-hand combat, and also native lancers, which are fabulous cavalry. They really are. So straight away you can already see the options available to you here. You're not going to be fielding massive firepower sort of armies, but you're going to be fielding, you know, really brilliant hand-to-hand warriors, lancers, shock troops is what I'd call it. The Cherokee have shock troops, huge amounts of discipline, huge amount of courage. Get them in hand to hand, you're going to absolutely brutalise the enemy. And here, of course, we do have a craft workshop here, an iron workshop, bringing quite a decent amount of wealth here to the region. and also Platoon as well, and obviously enabling you to open up this to your research as well. But as you can see here, you have no way to open until you get this sort of industrial metal industry here. You're not going to get anything. You can't research anything. So it looks like you'll have to take it or steal it or trade it, and that's pretty much how you're going to get it, my friends. And also here you've got a mine here. Look at that iron mine, bring 875 in, not bad at all. But as you can see here, that is it. Once you've upgraded this mine once, you can't upgrade it like you can with the Western powers up to like a sort of a steam powered sort of mine, that sort of mechanical mine you can get with sort of Britain or France or Spain. Once you've got this mine, that's where it ends. Your upgrade options aren't huge, particularly your economic and your sort of economic upgrades aren't as vast as you can get with the other nations. But again, you're not looking to field sort of really complex, firepower, complex sort of armies that are made up of different armed groups of arms of different armies. So you've got like, you're not looking to upgrade sort of the speed of your muskets, or you're not looking to upgrade sort of the, how fast your men can fire and things like that, because again, hand-to-hand combat is going to be your main sort of forte here. We also have here King Tut character, or Teleco here again, going to provide you here with another iron workshop, which is going to bring in still a decent amount here. But again, once you've upgraded to this, that is it. This, you cannot go any further to this. So the buildings are very limited. You're not going to be able to upgrade to a huge amount of sort of up and up and up and up to sort of a couple of different layers. You're going to be sort of stuck at very basic upgrade options here. But again, that shouldn't slow you down. And again here with the farms and that, again, you're not going to have a huge amount of upgrade options. And the same here, you've already got a cotton plantation, sort of you would only get 2 pip sort of, I call them 2 pip upgrades, which means once you've got to that second upgrade, that's it, it stops there, my friends. So, you're not going to be having to really research a huge amount of stuff, to be honest with you. And as you can see here, you can get up to a gunsmith, so you do need to be able to get something here. But with a gunsmith, as you can see, it opens up native artillery, which would be very nice to get. Warrior Society, of course, which is a fabulous warrior to get. But again, we'll have a look at that a bit closer. So as you can see here, your economic sort of power isn't going to be huge. It's not going to be vast. You're not building on a massive sort of economic infrastructure. And again, the roads here, the infrastructure, you can upgrade, but only to basic roads. You can't go any higher than that. So even when you've got the basic roads here, that's pretty much where it ends. You can't go up to metal roads. Again, you don't have the technology, you don't have the know-how to do that, like the sort of the other powers do. So again, you're going to be running on very, very basic economy, very basic infrastructure. Everything is going to be absolute to the minimal, but you're not going to have to worry about that. You don't need those things as the Cherokee. The Cherokee are not that type of sort of nation. They are the hit and run. They are the get right into your face sort of warriors and nation, as it were, and they're not going to be looking to have the sort of 24-pounders, the 12-pounders, the heavy cavalry, the different armed marines and elite troops. Their elite troops are hand-to-hand. So that's pretty much what you start with. You start off with Spain down here in the south. Spain do not like you at all, my friends. That is the understatement. So, as you can see, hostile, you're already at war with them. You're already at war with Spain, and again, they're already at war with the Plains Nation as well. So they're already at war with another sort of native Indian faction as well. You've got the Cherrick, the Iroquois, I beg your pardon, here. And again, they're not exactly very friendly either. As you can see, they're unfriendly. -37. Historical grievances is the thing that's really dragging down. So pretty much the sort of, you get along, but very begrudgingly. You begrudge each other sort of what you've got, and you're not really sort of, you'll trade, but only through gritted teeth. And again, what you'll find is the superpowers, i.e. France and Britain, will play one against the other if they can. So in other words, France will try and use the Iroquois to gain its territory here without getting directly involved in the war. And again, the British, if I'm not mistaken, Britain are indifferent here, -2, so I have to keep an eye on Britain here. But what you'll find is if you're friendly with some of the superpowers, they'll try and use you as a proxy to try and do the dirty work for them in sort of America, North America here, where they'll just sit back and sort of watch you being absolutely beaten to a pulp, and they'll just come in and try and take out what you've sort of, the target you've softened up, they'll try and take. So again, but you've got Louisiana here as well. Now Louisiana are very friendly with you. I think they probably realise sort of if you're in this sort of nation, you've got to be friendly with the natives, as it were. And there, look at that, plus 53, very friendly, and you're trading with them as well, which is excellent. And again, they are a protectorate of France. So indirectly, if you stay friendly with Louisiana, you should be okay with France. And as you could see here, we've got trade moving in through around here as well. Yeah. There, we've got Cherokee nations, Iroquois. We're also trading with the 13 colonies as well here. Now, the 13 colonies is going to be pretty pivotal here to how the success of your sort of campaign will be, because they are again a protectorate of Britain, and eventually they will possibly fall under the sort of the sort of the full control of Britain if Britain sort of completes a certain number of missions, as it were. You can actually, they will actually take over and control the 13 colonies, and sort of, you know, that is sort of the start of the Civil War here. The sort of, not the Civil War, the War of Independence will be, if Britain sort of comes along here, really takes a grip here. You will eventually see America, the USA, rise up here and try and sort of take all of the sort of the main, what we would call now the main regions here in the US for themselves. Now, you want to be on the right side of that war. You definitely have to keep an eye on the diplomatic situation around here in North America, particularly with Spain and particularly with France and Britain. They're the ones you've got to keep an eye on. If you're going to go to war with the Iroquois, which you can do, of course, be very, very careful. They've got no allies at the moment. The trade partners are yourselves. So if you wanted to hit the Iroquois, you could do it now before they get allied with France or Britain or another one of the superpowers, because if you go to war with Iroquois, you're going to drag in one of the major powers here. That's going to absolutely put you on the back foot straight away. So again, you want to look at the diplomatic situation here. Definitely keep an eye on what's going on here. But if you could take these three regions here, Detroit, Niagara and Cayuga here, it would put you in a place of power in terms of negotiating with France and indeed Britain later on in the campaign. Of course, you've got the Huron here as well, but that, if you took Detroit, it would put you sort of within the stone's throw of the Huron here. Let's have a quick look at how the Huron see you. They're unfriendly, so again, they're not particularly fond of you. But again, if you took Detroit, you could probably punch through and take Huron territory, control most of sort of the upper part of America, moving into Canada here. So again, it would put you into quite a good bargaining position here. The sort of Louisiana I would leave alone. They are going to be very friendly. They're going to be very good trade partners with you, possible allies as well, especially if France decides to take a sort of another look at you. You definitely want to keep an eye on Spain. Spain will be your biggest problem. They will come for you, particularly from Florida. Remember, Florida is a fortified town. It will not be easy to take, especially without cannons. So if you're going to assault Florida, keep an eye on what you've got to do there to be able to get it. You're not going to be able to break it down by conventional means that the West uses and the other powers use, where they just use cannons, break the walls down and charge in. You're going to have to assault the walls with a huge amount of troops, which you don't have at the start. So again, keep an eye on that. And look at, try and sort of gauge the nations you're going to attack in terms of what they have and what you have. Do not throw your troops into sort of situations where you're going to be absolutely destroyed before you've even started. Now, we can have a closer look at the troops you can get here. Let's have a look what you got. You start off here with a very powerful chief here. Look at this, 42. Cherokee Frontier General, +2 command when fighting in the Americas, which is fantastic. Enables the army conduct ambushes, which is a fantastic thing to have. Dithering defender, so in other words, if this guy needs to attack, if he's a defender, you're not going to be too good at defending, but if you're attacking, he really is going to lead you into probably quite a number of victories. You've got this other army up here as well, again by the war chief Matatope, 33 years old, cunning general, +1 command during ambushes. Again, the Cherokee are that type of nation. They're looking to ambush, they're looking to sneak upon you, they're looking to flank around on you. And remember, when you're fighting as the Cherokee, when you're actually on the battle map, you will notice that if you're fighting against them, they disappear into the countryside, into the sort of the undergrowth, into the vegetation. They sort of blend in. You can't see them until they're almost on top of you. That is one of the great sort of assets of the Cherokees, their ability to go into sort of the stealth mode until they're almost on top of your army, and by the time you notice they're there, it's almost too late. They can sneak around, they can ambush you, they can sort of come around from different angles without even knowing about it. You know, you can think you've destroyed a Cherokee army, and all of a sudden 5 or 6 regiments or 5 or 6 warrior societies suddenly pop out of nowhere and attack you, and before you know it, it's all over. It's all about stealth. It's all about cunning. It's all about planning the attack, attacking you when you don't realize, ambushing. That's the type of thing. You're not going to be standing there firing sort of rifles at sort of Britain or Spain or France or anybody else. You're going to be getting in as close as you can to use your main asset, which is that hand-to-hand fighting. I think what we do, my friends, now is have a quick look here at the sort of the units you can get. Now, the units you can get are absolutely fantastic. They really, really are wonderful units here. But let's have a look at what you can get here. So we'll have a look at gunsmith here. This is the apogee here of what you can get as the Cherokee or any Native American here. So first of all, mounted tribal gunners, very good for hit and run here. Very, very good for hit and run. As you can see here, good range. Accuracy is not brilliant. Reloading is not too good. Morale's okay, but look, they're cheap. It's only 600, 200 upkeep cost. They're good to keep ambushing, moving around, dragging the enemy from different side to side, pulling the enemy out of position. Really, really good. Setting up that charge, setting up that real sort of ability for the sort of the melee troops to get in there. Then you've got medicine men. These are absolutely fantastic fighters. They really are. Morale of 8. Pretty cheap as well to get, my friends. Cheap to upkeep. Reloading skill of 85. Well, of course, they don't really need to up sort of reload, as it were. But my word, look at their melee bone attack. 14. Their charge bonus is 12, which is absolutely fantastic for melee troops. It really is. Defensive 7, pretty good. But once these gentlemen get into you, my word, they are the elite. The elite of the Cherokee here, or of any native Indians here. You've got musket men. Again, they're going to be sort of, taking sort of the muskets and using the muskets. They're sold by the British now. Again, not brilliant. Actually, it's 35. Range is 20. But look at the immediate attack. Still quite high, 11. Morale is not brilliant. And again, you're going to use them to sort of help you pull the sort of other units aside, cause as much carnage, much chaos as you can in the ranks when they pop up. Absolutely fantastic to use. Now, American Lancers, my friends, look at the charge bonus from Lancers. 24 charge bonus. If you get these gentlemen in as close as you can, and you can attack or hit on the flank, they are going to absolutely destroy anything in their path. Probably one of the most expensive units you'll get, 610 here. Not too bad for upkeep costs. If you can get a couple of these regiments, and you can really sort of maneuver them properly to coordinate the attack with the rest of the army, you're going to be smashing in armies in really short order. Warrior Society, probably one of my favourite of all sort of the native Indians, the Warrior Society. Look at their attack, 16. The charge bonus is 13. Absolutely fantastic. Good morale as well. Not cheap, but my word, they're worth every single penny. They really, really are. Absolutely fantastic to have on your side. Charging into those lines, wonderful. Bowmen. Now I know bowmen aren't brilliant, but by damn, their range is good, and their reloading is really, and the reloading skill is only 10, but they fire so quickly. There's firing all the time, and also they can stay out of the range of most other sort of units as well, especially if they get in the flank. The number of times I've been flanked with bowmen, and also they can fire when they're sort of hidden as well. So you can see here, long, almost silent attacks. In other words, you have to get close to them to be able to reveal them on the battle. So they can pretty much fire and stay in stealth mode. And honestly, you can lose tens of men, 10, 20, 30, 60, 70 men before you even know it, if you can do this right, if you can use them right. The enemy won't even know what's hit them. And again, Native American tribesmen, these are sort of your standard line infantry, as it were here. Melee attack of 11, charge bonus of 9, pretty good. 280 recruitment cost, 150. These are standard regiment here, as it were. Now these bowmen here, really, really nice here. It got a little bit better, as you can see here, but not very much here. So the difference is not huge much, but their upkeep cost is slightly less. Again, Chief's Bodyguard, very nice charge bonus. Very expensive though, very expensive indeed, as you would imagine. But you're not going to really putting these gentlemen into the fight unless it's absolutely necessary. But even then, the defensive and their melee attack is absolutely fantastic. And then we've got Native American warriors. These are fantastic. Look at this. Melee attack 16, charge bonus 10. Good morale. But when they get in close, their morale is almost unbreakable. It really is. It really is. Most of these are unbreakable. And again, you've got the sort of native artillery, which is the basic. Range is 750. Firepower is only 21. Not brilliant, but look at the recruitment cost. 2,000 for some artillery. 2,000 for artillery, which is almost absurd amount to cost. So the number of those you can have is very, very few, unless you're exceptionally rich. So that's pretty much all of your sort of main units here. You're looking at building massive amount of armies. You're looking to overwhelm your opponents with stealth and cunning, and being able to basically overwhelm them with just constant waves of melee units crashing into the lines of the enemy. You start off with 8,000, not a bad start at all. Should give you a good chance to get your economy up and running here. And also to get a nice amount of units out as well, especially if you're going to start attacking these sort of rival clans, as it were, the rival native Indians as well, which I would definitely recommend doing, to be honest with you. If it was me, I would probably go for the Iroquois straight away and secure your foothold up here in the north. Taking Florida might be very difficult. You'd have to probably send maybe a scout or a spy, or maybe a single unit up this way and see what's there. You could possibly take it if the garrison isn't very large. You could probably storm it. But if you could get Florida, it would be hard for them to remove you out of there. It really would. Now, as I said, research is not going to happen until you're able to get yourself a research builder by probably capturing it or buying or exchanging, but probably buying technologies, or the way you're going to do, or you're going to have to capture a region that's got the facilities to be able to research. So basically looking for places got a school, something like that there, or a university. By the time you capture it, maybe a university, might be a college, something like that. And again, let's have a look at your diplomatic status here with all the others. Austria friendly, France is unfriendly. Be very wary of that, my friends. Be exceptionally wary of that. If you take out the Iroquois, you're going to be almost on the doorstep here of the French up in Canada, so be careful. Great Britain are indifferent, but again, you could probably turn that around. Marathans again. Mughal are friendly, Ottomans are friendly, which is good. Poland's indifferent, Portugal's indifferent. Prussia is friendly, which is good. If they're indifferent, you could probably turn them around on your side. Spain is hostile. You've got to keep your eye on that, my friends, for definite. Sweden is friendly, which is good. 13 colonies are unfriendly, but you're trading with them. So again, it's historical grievances. In other words, you've had a little bit of a spar with the French and the British and the 13 colonies, but they're probably unfriendly because the British are. So yeah, now your provinces are indifferent again. This is where you really want to look at here. Iroquois are unfriendly. Be very wary of that. Louisiana are friendly, which is always good because you've got backers covered. New Spain is hostile. Again, watch out for that because they're on your doorstep. They're only one away from the Pueblo nations. They are hostile as well, so you're going to be up against quite a few hostile elements here. Inuits are unfriendly, Huron are unfriendly. Be careful of the Pueblo nations, my friends, because they are here in Texas. We're at war with those, and at war with New Spain. Again, these are very close to you. They're only one sort of region away from being able to really step on your toes. So be careful there, my friends, what you're doing. Eventually, you're going to be able to expand, but your main priority is going to be North America. This is going to be your goal to start with. Don't look any further, and try and set out your goals in advance. Determine a strategy. Do not go for a nation that's going to be overwhelmingly, really difficult to take first thing. Get the nations that you know you can get, and get your foothold. Get your economy up and running, even though it's going to be not a booming economy. Get what you can. Get these units here close as you can. Get your foothold into these nations. If you think you can take the 13 colonies, then go for it. Really, if you see a weakness, pounce, take it. But remember, the 13 colonies is a protectorate of Britain. Britain will come to their aid, and the same here with France. Be careful what you do, my friends. Step by step, slowly does it. Or if you think you can see a weakness, grab the territory you can before it's too late. You might even be able to move down this way, maybe take out Texas, maybe then move into New Spain, and that maybe go this direction. So into the west. So that might be the best, my friends. But that, my friends, explains or gives you some idea of what you're going to do here with the Cherokees. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have already played the Cherokees, let me know. Put it in the comments what you've done, how you've played them, you know, what you did, which tactics you use, what strategies you use, which nations did you attack first. Let me know. I'll be putting up another sort of guide very soon as well. I know some of you have asked me to bring back the nations guides. Not a problem, my friends. I'll do that, no problem at all. But I hope you've enjoyed this. Gives you just a brief outline of what you can do, what the units you've got, the sort of the strategies available to you. Possibly not. I'm not saying this is the way to do it, but I'm just saying this is what's option to you, and maybe where you can attack the nations you can be friendly with, the nations you can trade with, the nations you might want to be able to attack before things really start to heat up here. Get your economy up, my friends. Even though your economy is small, get it up as soon as possible. You know, really get it firing on all cylinders. It might not be a massive economy, but you're not having hugely expensive troops. Your troops are quite cheap to sort of recruit, and that is in your favour because you can get up massive armies up pretty quickly and pretty cheaply. But anyway, friends, hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please comment, like, and subscribe.